Sometimes it is fun to reminisce about the past, especially when storied moments like these hardly feel like they're a part of your present. Once upon a time, there wasn't much confusion on how people felt about Boise State versus Nevada. But now,
as far as a rivalry, I wouldn't say that I have too much knowledge on that because I never really knew that it was a rivalry for the school because this is my first time playing them since I've been here.
In 2013, the Mountain West split the league into two divisions, and these two rivals went their separate ways, removing their annual date that was always filled with remarkable hate. Yes, the Broncos have dominated this matchup over the last 2 decades, but Nevada has shown they can do just enough to antagonize their neighbors to the north. In order to rewind this rivalry, it's time for the players to feel the passion and energy that this matchup can bring. And it's also time for the Bronco Roundup Game Day Show, which starts now.
Now, a special presentation from the KTVB Newsroom. Bronco Roundup Game Day starts now.
Hey, good morning and happy game day to all of you. We got an early edition of the Bronco Roundup Game Day Show, a rivalry matchup, or is it, between Boise State and Nevada. Alongside Will Hall, I am Jay Tuss, and Boise State will be back on the blue in just a few hours, rocking some new sweet uniforms. We're going to get to that in just a moment. In the meantime, happy game day.
Happy game day, JT. First Saturday in October, the season flying by. Had some coffee. It was a little weak this morning, though, I have to say.
I went for the extra shot.
I know. I needed to do that. And I need some food. I'm hungry. Need some breakfast.
Need a little extra ammo. We were up late last night covering Friday Night Football, but hey, a lot of fun to be had over the next 60 minutes as we'll get you ready for kickoff between Boise State and Nevada. Like I said, in the meantime, you know, the Broncos are coming up a rather impressive win from a week ago when they went down to Logan and dominated a Utah State squad that was, I say was, off of their best start since 1978.
Boise State's defense picked off 2 more passes. Safety Tyreek Jones with the first, and cornerback Tyreek LaBeouf added 1 in the second.
On top of that, running back Andrew Van Buren rushed for a score, while both wide receiver Khalil Shakir and defensive tackle, yes, I said defensive tackle, Scott Matlock both caught touchdown passes. Utah State entered last week's game averaging 41 points a contest. However, they only scored 3 points against the Broncos.
The Boise State defense certainly had a bend but don't break approach last week.
Yeah, they did. And, you know, if you look at this right here, Boise State surrendered 429 total yards of offense, the second most they've allowed this season, but they only allowed 3 points. Will, that is their fewest ever in a Mountain West road game.
Wow.
Take a look at this graphic right here. This is a list of the fewest points allowed by the Broncos in a game they've surrendered 400 or more total yards. In those regards, hey, last week's game was historic. Over the last 2 decades, Boise State has never allowed more yards and surrendered fewer points.
Look at those teams on that list
right
there. Louisiana Tech,
yeah.
number 2.
Yeah,
the Bulldogs.
Got a little Idaho action in there. Gosh, talking about throwback rivalries. Man.
It's been a while.
It's been a little while. We do have a loaded show for you coming up this morning, though.
Yeah, just coming up in a few minutes, we visit with Boise State Senior Associate Athletic Director Cody Gogler about the game day experience over at Albertson Stadium.
And after that, an update on conference realignment. We will also recap offensive coordinator Tim Plow's move to the sideline to call plays. This offense is still evolving. And in about 30 minutes, we're going to take a look at the Cutter connection. Gosh, I can't get that one wrong. I chalked it up to the early start time. It started over 2 decades ago with Dirk, but it continues to this very day with his youngest son, Davis Cutter.
And finally, the million-dollar question. Is Boise State Nevada a rivalry, and can the Broncos slow down star quarterback for the Wolfpack, Carson Strong, a potential first-round NFL draft?
Man, he is oh so good. This is something that has had everyone talking this week, though. Boise State debuting their new homecoming helmet, a throwback-style logo, the one that was painted on at midfield on the blue turf when it was installed at Albertson Stadium back in 1986. These are the logos that they're putting on their all-orange helmets. I should say all orange with a white face mask, that is. We want to know what you think, though. Do you like these helmets? Or do you prefer the traditional style with the logo that they always use over at Boise State? We want you to weigh in and tell us what you think. In the meantime, as we do move along, This will be, the helmet will kind of be the accoutrement, if you will, of Boise State's all-orange uniforms that they will sport today. Take a look at these. Personally, I think they're awesome, Will.
Oh my goodness gracious. I'm going to be bold and say they should rock this logo every game.
Hey, whenever they wear their all-orange uniforms, I think that logo should be on this helmet. That's just me.
I want to see it with the blue too.
I think it would look good with the blue.
I do too.
I know, I do. I just don't know if he can rock the throwback every single time.
Okay.
You know?
All right, patience, Will.
Yeah, patience.
Okay.
We do want to know what you think of these helmets and the uniforms. Maybe we'll get to that in just a little bit. As we do move along, Boise State is expecting another nice crowd today. Through 2 games, Boise State is averaging right around 36,000 fans. That includes 36,702 from the Oklahoma State contest a couple of weeks ago. That was the 5th largest crowd in the history of Albertson Stadium. Clearly all those new hires over at Boise State are doing their jobs, which leads us to our first interview of the morning. Joining us now on the Bronco Roundup Game Day Show, Cody Gogler, the Senior Associate Athletic Director of External Affairs over at Boise State. Cody, still kind of new on the job. As Boise State continues to add members to the staff, we begin at the beginning, and that's just the energy that you're feeling right now over at Boise State.
Hey, somebody pinch me. First of all, thank you for allowing me to be on the show with you guys today. Very excited about today's ball game. I just can't tell you how excited I am to be here in Boise. Everybody has just been incredible for my wife, Kelsey, and I. We really, truly feel like this is a place we can call home. When I say pinch me, I mean, when you look out of my office right here, we're looking at the blue turf. We're getting ready for a big game today. This is what college football should be like. This is what it should feel like. And I just feel so blessed and fortunate to be a part of this program in this Bronco Nation.
Cody, speaking of the blue, I know you've taken in 2 games early on in your time here in Boise. What are your thoughts on the atmosphere that you've seen on the blue in those first 2 home games?
Unbelievable. I don't know if I can necessarily describe it, but probably the best way for me to share with you how I feel like we have the highest level IQ that you could have for a fan base. When you talk about, going to a sporting event and having all of your attendees completely locked in, that is very rare. And so when you have a capacity crowd of 35 to 36 to 37,000 individuals, it has been truly amazing for me to see how everybody is completely bought into the atmosphere, the blue chaos, creating a championship home field advantage while implementing overwhelming sound for our opponents. I love that stuff. I get excited about game day and the crowd energy and the noise and what that means. And I just feel so fortunate to be a part of this. And when you talk about educating your fans, there's really not much we have to do. They create the environment themselves.
Cody, when you step back and you look at Albertson Stadium, how much potential do you see? You come to Boise State from Baylor, a place that has a tremendous game day atmosphere. So as you stand back and you look at this thing big picture and you envision a few years down the road, how much potential does this place have?
Oh, it's, I would just say not only Albertson Stadium and our in-game experience, but just in particular, this athletics department, combined with the efforts of this community, the opportunities truly are endless. But specifically for game day here on the blue in Albertson Stadium, one of the things that I've learned and I can appreciate about the way that they've set things up here, they've set it up in a manner where you can expand. If we want to ever increase capacity, we have the infrastructure and the setup to be able to do that without having to make major changes. And kind of going back to what we talked about earlier, our fans have such a high level IQ about what they need to do during the game. So really on our part, we need to continue to innovate the experience for them in other areas with waiting lines and tailgating and concessions and beverage purchases and all those things that maybe amplify that experience for them. That's what we'll continue to focus on.
Couple of new things with game day today, Cody. Wondering where the new logo that we'll see later today on the blue came about, and what are your thoughts on that logo?
It's really been a family effort. When you talk about what we are focusing on right now as a department, you see a lot of our hashtags, a lot of our main themes are about what's next. We're very forward thinking. We're very innovative in what we want to do in the next 3 to 5 years to propel this department and this university forward. But with that being said, we also feel it very important to pause and go back to our roots and remember where we've come from and be able to amplify that at a place like Albertson Stadium on homecoming for a day game. It's all really coming together. So, this has been months in the making. When you look at the logo itself, as many know, that was the initial logo that was on the blue turf 35 years ago. So it's really us going back and honoring that transition to really what sparked this rapid growth for this institution. I think it's going to look amazing on our helmets. You're going to combine that with our all orange, our orange out in the stadium. We want to make sure everybody's wearing their orange tomorrow. And we will continue to look at opportunities for our fan base to make contributions through the Bronco Athletic Association in the weeks and months to come to try to secure their opportunity to get one of those helmets.
Oh, there's a good idea.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people would like that. I've already seen Derek Alston, a former Boise State basketball star. He was requesting one, so maybe he gets one for free. I'm not really sure. He probably obviously has some elite status there on campus. Cody, how fluid is the situation right now as you continue to try to adapt the game day experience to better suit the fans and their needs? Because we've already seen this week something that you guys will be debuting is that you can actually pre-purchase beer more or less before you even get into the stadium.
We feel really, really good about the first two home games when it comes to just the experience for adult beverage purchases in general. Number one, we feel like we've done really well with our Drink Responsibly campaign. We have not had any major issues, and so we appreciate our fans for that, for being responsible. And quite frankly, have probably had two of our larger grossing concession games in athletics department history. But one of the issues that we've had, that you probably would see at many venues when you're at capacity are concession lines, and specifically with our adult beverage line. So, we met as a staff and we said, okay, guys, we're in the middle of the season. What can we accomplish, or do we need to wait until next season? And so whenever I brought that up, everybody kind of raised their hands and said, hey, let's give it a shot. We're hearing from our fans something that they specifically desire to see us improve. So let's give it a shot. And so I'm very grateful for our team. We do have the ability for our fans to go in through our various links, broncosports.com/vouchers. And you're able to actually prepay for as many beverage vouchers as you'd like and download those specific digital tickets through your Ticketmaster account in your mobile wallet. And essentially, it would be just like presenting your ticket at the gate. Instead, you're going to pull these tickets up there in their digital format at a prepaid vouchers only specific designated line at all of our mobile ordering kiosks. And hopefully, for us being able to offer that experience, you'll see a lot of people take advantage of that and expedite their concessions experience. And so right now, we're only about 48 hours into this. And we are expecting over probably 1,000 total vouchers to be purchased by tomorrow. And so our focus will be making that experience for those individuals as elite as we can so that they'll share the experience with others, and hopefully we'll continue to grow it and improve that waiting experience for our fans.
Cody, Will and I have been here for a while. You guys are making things happen really quick over there for the fans at Albertson Stadium. And by the way, for you fans, if you look down at the sideline today and you see a guy, he's probably going to, and I know you're going to be masked up, but you see him with the clipboard, just hard at work trying to make it the best possible experience for Bronco Nation. That is our guy, Cody. We really appreciate you joining us this morning, Cody.
Thanks, Cody.
Jay, Will, thank you so much. And yes, we are taking notes on what we can do to improve the experience, and want to wish you all the very best to all of our fans that are coming out. Let's have a great time and go Broncos.
All right, moving along now. Once again, realignment news has surged back to the forefront of the college football discussion. And yesterday, Boise State Director of Athletics Jeremiah Dickey provided us with an update on where the Broncos currently stand.
He said, quote, "I have consistently stated since arriving at Boise State that our institution is a proud member of the Mountain West, but we will always do our due diligence in regards to what is best for our department and university."
Yeah, while our on-field success has been good, they're going to continue to look at this thing, obviously. He says that there's a positive trajectory that the university has created, and there's good opportunities that lie ahead, but at the time right now, they're going to remain committed to the Mountain West.
Dickey then added, Boise State is committed to excellence in all aspects of our university, including our athletics programs and our commitment and investment in our student athletes, coaches, and staff. will only grow stronger. We will not rest on our past successes. We will continue to build upon them in order to achieve epic results. End quote.
Sorry about that. I was moving through that graphic a little too quickly on the screen early on. But hey, we wanted to weigh in on this just a little bit because it really does remain a fluid conversation at this point in time. I do think it's interesting though. Boise State coming out this week along with a number of other Mountain West institutions saying, nah, we're committed to the Mountain West at this point in time. What does that mean?
Great question.
Yeah.
Moving forward for the Mountain West Conference, I look at it from this perspective. Colorado State and Air Force were the rumored schools to lead the Mountain West and join the AAC. Now that they've turned down the AAC, they're staying in the Mountain West Conference. I think the Mountain West has a strong argument. They are the top group of 5 conference in the entire country. The AAC's losing UCF, Houston, Cincinnati. Those are arguably your 3 top schools. Mountain West has some momentum now.
I mean, either way, something happened behind the scenes where those schools went out, chatted with the AAC, realized the grass isn't greener on that side of the country, and they're going to stay in the Mountain West. I do think it's interesting that it was those 2 schools rumored. I don't think that they are the most coveted products out of the Mountain West Conference. It also might mean that there is a bigger, greater product trying to covet some of the grander products coming out of the Mountain West, like a Boise State or a San Diego State. And for right now, it's all about for stability for them and positioning themselves for maybe even a greater leap. Again, just my opinion, probably our opinion.
Yeah, probably our opinion. The other thing too, Colorado State and Air Force, from strictly a financial, logistical move to the AAC, it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make a ton of sense. You're taking all sports. This isn't just about men's basketball and football. It's all sports, which that will create a financial strain without a doubt. Hey, we asked you a little bit earlier in the show. We want you to weigh in on Boise State's new throwback homecoming logo and their all-orange uniforms. Right now, you can check out my KTVB Twitter page right now, KTVB Sports Guy. That's where you can vote on this thing. But yes, they are fire. That is winning in resounding fashion. 88.7% of you on Twitter this morning said, hey, you love the new throwback logo. And by the way, we got like 400 votes on this thing, so people are really liking it.
I got to know, who are the nope, no way people? You need more coffee this morning.
I feel like there's got to be some maybe Nevada fans this morning that have found this, and they're just punching that no button just out of bitterness.
Totally agree with you.
I hope your coffee wasn't so bitter. Getting you ready for game day. Plenty more to come on the Bronco Roundup Game Day show, but first, check this out.
Hey Bronco fans, show us your team spirit. Share a photo with us and you could win a big screen smart TV. To enter, text the word FAN to 208-321-5614. Game Day Traditions, sponsored by Mountain America Credit Union.
Bronco Roundup Game Day, sponsored in part by Western Siding and Windows.